What surprised you the most?
I was kind of surprised that this whole thing evolved.
That it happened at all.
I know, from the time that Felice and I first started talking about it, and I had no idea what a MOOC was at that point. Then going through the whole approvals process and working with the edX team, and there were moments there where it seemed like the project was not going to get approved.
Yes.
And ultimately we did get to do it, and I'm so grateful that we did.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
That was a surprise. And on sort of abstract level, I actually really learned a lot from Felice's course, not just in photography, but also some of her more abstract ideas, like that week 5 content, for example, how she talks about a photograph is a representation of reality. That is a concept that I hadn't thought about it in that framing before, and it made total sense when she said it, and it's really stuck with me.
Yeah. The thing that really sticks with me from what I learned from the course is this whole idea of very carefully photographing something causes you to see it differently. That if you're really spending time composing your photograph carefully and paying attention to all of these matters of composition and lighting and shadows and focus and depth of field, that you're never going to look at that object the same way again.
That's true. And what you choose to include in the frame dictates what the viewer will get out of that object.
Exactly. Yeah, so much to it.
Putting reality in front of you.
Yeah.
So that was just sort of a philosophical lesson that I didn't expect to happen.
Yeah. So Natasha, what would you say would be your key take-home lessons from the whole experience of building these videos?
I really like doing After Effects.
That's a good one.
Well, I'll tell you, editing is a huge thing. It's really the best way to make yourself sound smart, So it was wonderful to have the opportunity to keep refining information, refining the flow of it, and editing out what wasn't working. I think we learned a lot about working together as a team. So just figuring out the dynamics of how best to communicate with my boss, essentially. Felice was setting the tone and writing the curriculum for everything. So my job was to support her presentation of that material.
Right. Yeah, adapting, right, to each of us, we kept, adding new members to the team, and we had to kind of work with that to adapt.
Yeah. And it was really wonderful to work together as a team like that. There were definitely moments where I was surprised by what skills other people on our team had to offer.
Good point. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I know I've learned this from you. One of my key take-home lessons was the value and the importance of kind of pre-production work before you really get in there. Yeah, talk to me a little bit about that.
That's huge. Yeah. The more that you can set up and organize things, the better it will go.
Yeah.
If designing a media project, you learn that workflow very quickly, that it's so helpful to have all of the assets you're going to work with at the same time and have an idea of what you're supposed to produce.
Right, where you're going with all this, right?
Yeah, it just really helps you to utilize your resources more wisely. You can exploit the best talents of your staff and budget, to if you get it right the first time or a couple of times you try it, the better.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, the more that you can sketch out for instance, as we were talking about the story arcs here, Felice didn't want to work from a script, but we did develop sort of the storylines that we were the storyboards, we could even call it.
Right. Even without a script, right? It still had an arc, yeah.
Yeah, right. So I sort of knew where we were going to start and the middle conflict part and the ending.
Yeah.